Hi guys, my name is John Meese. I'm a coach at Sundance Gymnastics in Monument, Colorado, and I've been a tricker for about a decade, but not necessarily at the highest level. Anyway, one of the tricks I've always been decent at has been btwist hyperhook, which proves that you don't have to be that amazing to do a good one. But you do have to do it with the right set of things that you're thinking about when you go for it. So I saw a thread the other day that said, people who can btwist hyperhook, what's your trick? And then there was someone else, someone really good, I forget who, Fletch? Anyway, who is amazing at lots of things like triple pulls and double cork swing, double cork and stuff, but just got their btwist hyperhook. So this is a move where even if you're pretty good, it can trip you up if you're thinking about it the wrong way. So let's go over how to do the btwist hyperhook. The first thing you're going to need, obviously, is a pretty strong btwist. You can get like hyper btwist that's not that good if you have a btwist that's not that good. But if you're going for an actual btwist hyper hook, your btwist needs to be strong. A good, not required prerequisite, but it's probably good to have a double butterfly twist before you do this if you really want it to pop. Obviously not required, but definitely a benefit to have it. Okay, so let's just go over what the butterfly twist hyper hook looks like. Here's one. Okay, let's see if I can clean up that hook in a second, but that's basically the set of things that can go wrong in the butterfly twist hyperhook have to do with the btwist itself, aka the butterfly twist itself. When you go for the butterfly twist, if you're thinking, I'm going to do a horizontal twist, here's what happens. You'll bend your body to here trying to be at this angle. Look how high you are now. That means best case scenario, you land down here if you stay at your current height and twist really well. Don't do your butterfly twist like that. If you try to do your butterfly twist like that, you're going to have a bad time. You can land it, but you're not going to make much progress past crappy basically landing it. Now, the other part of that is what you actually want to do instead of that, which is you want to anchor the butterfly twist to a vert spin in terms of your air awareness. So you go for it, you either do the dip, old school style and stand up, or you just hit it standing up. Either way, you're standing up, you're arching your back, you're looking over your shoulder, and you're kicking this leg. What kicking that leg does is actually going to be more along the lines of what makes you horizontal. So basically, you're jumping off this foot, you're spinning vertically, and then the leg that's in the back is what tips you up to horizontal. So you don't want to be like feet, waist, head, bending down to like waist level. You want to be feet, waist, head, kicking your foot up so that you go up to head height, like that. So here's the ground, don't bend down, lift up, okay? So the next set of stuff that can go wrong has to do with the landing and the hyper stance and the hook itself. So first let's go over the hyper landing. Now, if I'm starting my btwist facing exactly sideways from you guys going in that direction, I'm going to spin to here. Notice how much that was in vertical. It was 5-4. Anyway, but this would be a normal landing. This is sort of a hyper landing, but it's not necessarily a good hyper landing to just get to your right foot. To get a good hyper landing, you have to think of the actual definition of a hyper, which is not right leg landing if you normally land left. It's actually twist 90 degrees more than you would for the normal landing. So normal landing would be left foot or both feet, or actually right foot. It's sort of just a normal landing. This is an actual hyper. Now, a symptom of that is usually that your weight is on the next foot, which sets you up for something like a hook. So now that we're at the hook kick, let's take a quick detour through good hook kicks. Now, take mine with a little bit of a grain of salt, because I'm only a bad tricker with a lot of experience. I was never an actual martial artist. But to do your hook kick, you want to make sure you're turning your foot that's planted on the ground away from your target so that you can open your shoulder and your hips, lifting that knee up. Remember, a hook kick isn't a back kick or a side kick even. It's sort of a front kick that is actually rotating from the back kick stance into the forward kick. Watch Kyle Cordova's Sunday School for more details on that and for a better example. Do it instead. You're going to start your btwist, you're going to stand up tall, you're going to turn and arch your back. From there, waist up, you're trying to bird kick. you'll tip horizontal, but that's going to happen because the next thing you're going to do is as you jump, you're going to keep this leg straight backwards. If you lift it forwards, that's just one of those things that fundamentally will mess up a B-twist when it's still new. But watch for it, because you might be doing it if you're new to B-twist, is like lifting your foot forwards into it like a crappy torque. Make sure it's lifting backwards. That's what tips you horizontal. So you're standing up, you're vertical, you're trying to stay vertical, you're trying not to tip, you're letting yourself tip because you're kicking up. Now you're spinning to here, and that would be your normal B-twist landing. From there, you've got to keep rotating until your shoulders open. If your shoulders closed, your kick's going to be low. That's just basic hook kick stuff. That's the same as jackknife or step over hook or anything. You've got to open your shoulder when you do it so that you can get a clean angle with your hips on the hip as the actual kick. So your goal is to do your B-twist. Don't land here, but land standing up. It doesn't matter how horizontal you are in the air at first. Eventually it'll get better. But stay standing up, land standing up, land to here, standing up, and you're ready to go. Then you set up for a hook kick. So your foot's sideways, toes are pointing away from your target. Target should be just about exactly behind your back when you're doing a normal B-twist. You're opening your hips, you're ready to kick. So let's watch one. Now let's go over a couple double butterfly twist things that are related to the stuff you just learned. So, this is a little bit esoteric, which for the non-English speakers who speak English means complicated, possibly overly complicated, but it'll help you if you understand it. So, your butterfly twist needs to stay as vertical as you can make it in your air awareness. So what you should be thinking of, how far that should be for a single butterfly twist, is actually the equivalent of a vertical 540 spin, starting with your feet skewed so that your left foot's taking off, your weight is on your left foot. One thing I teach little kids this with is I say, like, imagine that you're a velociraptor with one leg, and this is your tail, and you are just doing a 360, and you're a velociraptor with only one leg doing a 360. If you don't get that, it doesn't make a lot of sense, it's not that necessary, but basically, that's a B-twist at first. That's not a great one, that's not where you want to be, like, get that and call it good, but that's a start. Then the next thing you would do with that is you're going to lift up, you're going to travel with that, so it's only 360 vertically traveling, like that. Now what that is that's not a complete B-twist, because that's starting where your dip and standing up would end, so that's already 90. Then it's the 360 where that lands, and then that's still under rotating, so you want to land facing the way you can. So then it's the there. So if this is a 360, then the actual B-twist starting here, arching up, 360 plus 90, so there's 90 at the beginning, 90 at the end, 360 in the middle, is the equivalent of 540 vertical spin. So, to do the double butterfly twist, you're going to think 360 more than that. So it's basically get enough power, however you do it, standing, running, spinning, whatever. Dipping, maybe, whatever. If you don't dip, that's sort of the old school tech. The new probably is just like you hit it standing up. From there, you're doing a vertical 900 spin while jumping as hard as you can, kicking this foot as high as you can backwards. It's late, I'm tired, that's all I got.